Hello! Welcome to Messenger Motorworks again. This is my Saab 9.5 Aero 2002 model. Pretty well loaded up with options, unfortunately, like the automatic windshield wipers that don't work and a bad alignment because of a worn suspension, reverse parking sensors that don't work either, and a fueling problem, I think, probably, because I've already changed the coil pack and it didn't seem to be that. It's running out of gusto at high RPM, high load sort of situations. Kind of just feels like it runs out of gas, like it doesn't have the volume for whatever reason at high RPM under heavy load. So injectors are trying to fire, and then it just kind of runs out of gas for a minute. So I've been avoiding heavy load at high RPM. Obviously, this is just kind of my winter beater vehicle, so I don't want it to die. I've recently purchased this car for about $1,700. Since then, I have done subframe bushings. I have put a stereo with Android Auto / Apple CarPlay. Works brilliantly with the factory Harman Kardon amplifiers that work. So stereo is good. I have done some repairs to the heater box. As some of you may know, if you're Saab 9.5 aficionados, the heater boxes in these are garbage. I have changed a lot of the outside livers to aluminum. Aluminium, for those of you, it's aluminum, let's just call it that. And most of the heater box works, so most of the interior gets warm air directed where I wish it to be directed. I have changed, gosh, it feels like I've changed a lot of things, but I think it just feels that way because I've taken the same things apart so many times that it's just kind of scrambling my brain. I have changed the rear parking sensors. I have put in new front subframe bushings, which helped immensely. It now needs an alignment, but I can't do that because the inner tie rod adjustment bolt is just seized. So a later date, another video. Today, we will be attempting to change the fuel pump, which is actually quite a simple job, mercilessly. Saab left a big hole in the middle of the car underneath the rear seat. So this is my Chinesium fuel pump, probably made in the same area as the Walbro ones over there, except, you know, maybe more lead. It was broken, as things are, from China. This whole cup kind of wasn't really attached. Fortunately, it's just some simple clips. Other than that, it seems to be of usual Chinese quality. This isn't quite square. These clips aren't quite seated properly. But you know, it should work. This is a high mileage, about 157,000 mile 9.5. When I bought it, it did have a JZW Stage 3 tune, and the man is out of business probably for a reason. I don't know. Actually, I don't know much about it, but the tune was very aggressive, needlessly aggressive, and the previous owner didn't actually have the hardware on the car to support the tune, namely a 3.5 bar fuel pressure regulator, or even the big enough injector. So the injector constant was wrong. It was running lean as hell all the time. So I've done that. I did replace the plugs. That's kind of how I knew that it was running extremely lean. But so yeah, I've got it flashed back to the stock tune. I did wire into the ECUs CAN H and CAN Ls and have a connection with a 15-year-old CAN USB device that I bought a long time ago. Maybe not that old, 10 years ago. But I do have it working, despite all the problems with an unsigned driver on Windows 10. It functions and I can flash tune, so I'm running stock tune. I'll probably only just pump it up by lifting some torque limiters and maybe asking for a little bit more torque in the mid-range. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to set up the camera and we can go about seeing if maybe we can get the fuel pump changed. Should be simple. Let's go. Let's do this, yeah? Now, supposedly, it's this sort of thing, and lift. I do have to get that child seat out of there. Oh, tire's right in the way. My boy loves cars. Cannot wait until he's a little older. He's nearly 3, but when he can really start participating in stuff in the garage, I will just be the happiest man on the planet. Having a kid that takes interest in something that you also take interest in is just a gift. Also can't wait until it's done with these car seats. Fortunately, due to, safety hazards, he'll be in seats for a good long time. But I think maybe next summer I'll cheat, maybe put it up in the front seat every now and then when mom's not looking. There we go. Come on. Yes. Child seats. I can somewhat build an engine. Swap one out. Do some brakes. Bleed them properly. Install a stereo. Car seat. Baffling. Completely and utterly unfathomable. Gets me every time. Child seat protector to, protect these 18-year-old leather seats, which are in surprisingly good condition, all things considered. The necessary brush here in Iowa, almost said Michigan. I'm from Michigan, but this isn't Michigan. Oh, okay. Never lifted these before. Some coins. Someone's lost. Those are mine now. A golf tee. Very old leaf. Yeah, there's some, not too much grossness, all things considered. That was probably from my son. Just throw that there. Ooh. That's a Saab 10mm standard issue fastener that most things on Saabs are put together with. And there is the inspection plate. Need to pop that out of there. So let's pop that out of there. Got a plastic thing, but I've also got a metal thing just in case the plastic thing doesn't quite get us there. Oh, look at that. Oh, dirty. I need to find some gloves. That is the carcass of a large and little, kind of contradictory, but weird little insect. Biggish, but small, you know what I mean. All right, so we're gonna need a fill up. So we're going to need a flathead. We're gonna need a small hammer. We're gonna need some gloves. Yeah. We're gonna need some plastic. And we're gonna need some hope. And a prayer to some God somewhere. And, maybe this will work out. Note to my future self in this video, maybe have the tools ready before I start the bloody video. Okay. Oh yeah, there we go. She came loose. Don't lose the screw, they say. Ignore my occasional use of colorful British language. I did grow up watching Top Gear, like a lot of us did, who are now watching these YouTube channels and making these YouTube channels. it just comes off now. People think I'm kind of putting it on or playing, and I'm just really not. It genuinely just kind of rolls out, embarrassingly enough. I get made fun of at work pretty well for it. Oh yeah, this thing's good and seized in there. I'm usually pretty good with these Saab plugs, but... Oh yeah. She is being really stingy. Oh, don't want to break it. Be careful. Joe. Wiggle, wiggle, squish, squish. Release some pressure on those little tabs in there. Oh, she feels like she's gonna let go. Come on, sweetheart. She wants to. Is it sexist to say she? Reference to a plug? She seems kind of natural. I don't know, probably not. Oh, this is a bugger. I have never quite had this. Ooh, look at that dust rise. I should vacuum that. That is disgusting. These you find in people's old cars. What does that say? Coach. That's probably worth $37, that. A Coach tag from a bag. It's leather. Smells like leather. Yeah, well, throw that on the eBay. Okay, come on, sweetheart. Let's have it. I really don't want to go get the lube. Ugh. It's very dusty in here. I bring the camera over, but you're not that interested, let's face it. I'm not that interested, and I'm sitting here doing it. Oh, that probably just broke. Need the other side to just let go. Oh, there she is. There she is. What a beautiful thing. What is that over there? It's rubbish is what it is. It's a whole other plug, but I'm not sure that it's in my way. I'm not sure I care. Okay. So now the fuel lines have to be gently pulled out of here. You know, they've only been there for 18 years and 157,000 miles. Don't worry, I'm not going to say the whole Honda thing. Oh, it's just being broken in. No, a car is broken in after just a couple of thousand miles. Can we please just end that charade that just because it's a Honda or a Toyota that 80,000 miles isn't broken in yet? That's ridiculous. It's broken in. After a couple thousand miles, the rings are conforming to the actual shape, which isn't a perfect circle of the bore. And, you know, it's breaking in. Suspension bushings are becoming a little softer than they were, only to then later become harder. Rubber is a funny thing. Okay, actually, this is the point where I need to have towels ready. Just a moment. Oh, old. Getting old. This is many towels. That's annoying. Listen here, rubber tires. Okay. It's from a box of Scott rags that got saturated in water that I carefully let dry so that I could still maybe use them. Will this just come out. Did I kind of waste my time? I don't know. I probably did waste my time. Good at wasting my time. Anyway, fuel lines. Let's have some rag ready. This should be pressurized, which will suck. Probably go in my mouth. Brittle. Carefully. Oh, damn, it's really in there with the rag. I can't really see what I'm doing. It's a good time. This working on an old Saab. It's not even that old. It's probably guys watching with 40-year-old 99s or 900s. It's a guy in town. His newest car, he has all Saabs. Newest car is a 91 Saab 900 convertible. I met him at a gas station a few years ago. No, it was in O'Reilly's, because he buys car parts from O'Reilly's because he has a Saab. Now I can't imagine what parts he was getting for his 60-something 9.5, but you know, he only recently got, when he told me, he'd only recently acquired the new fangled 900 convertible. So he's gone a long time with just subpar heat and air conditioning. Well, no air conditioning. It's very low comfort level, very low safety level. You know, he just really roughed it for a lot of years, and I can't imagine actually doing that. I mean, it's romantic sounding to be driving some old, you know, of a different time vehicle all the time. But let's be honest, I really like my new cars. They're comfortable, and the heat's good, and the AC's good, the stereo's good, and cruise control's good. I like new cars. New cars are better than old cars in a lot of ways. And I don't think I could give that up for the romance of driving something of yesterday. Just not that interested. I'm not a masochist. You have to be a masochist on some level to really want to engage in old vehicles like that. They made this look a lot easier when I watched Aero Parts video on how to do this. The guy just like pried these things right off. He probably pried them off and then put them back on and then pried them off again in the video to make plebeians like me seem inferior, feel inferior. Let's be honest, those Aero Parts guys are pretty good. That's one. Only a little bit of fuel dumped everywhere. I love the smell of gas. Don't let the gas get on the carpet. When I actually go to pull this out, I'm going to put plastic everywhere. I don't know where I'm going to get the plastic from quite yet. It's probably something laying around. Don't get, you know, fuel on the carpet. Anyway, next one. Pry this back. Pull, twist, pull, gentle. Pull, twist, pull, gentle. Pull, twist, pull, gentle. Pull, twist, pull, gentle. Oh, getting there. Pull, twist, pull, gentle. Oh, some wires. Way. Rubbish. Yeah. Smells delicious. I do love the smell of fuel, if I'm honest. Fantastic smell. All right. Find plastic. Need to check the battery on that phone. Not sure how it's faring. Oh. Okay. And we're back. 44% left in the battery. Doing okay. Now, I need some light. I should have thought of that. Again, future self, Joe, bring a fucking light. Light, Ryobi. You'll see if you keep watching these videos. Everything I use is Ryobi. There's a couple reasons for that. Number one, they make a pretty decent tool. Number two, they make a lot of tools that fit the same battery. Now, most brands do that. Ryobi's catalog is pretty big. And number three, they're cheap. They are pretty cost effective, and I think generally for the amount you're spending on that particular product, you're getting a good value for money. And I like value for money. Okay, so I don't have a tool for these plastic rings, unfortunately. So I gotta kind of try to do it this janky way, which so far isn't going well. Oh, you know what? I'm glad I took my time. That is satisfying as hell. It's more threads than I imagined it having. There it is. Oh yeah, this other line's kind of a bitch. No. Okay. Got a bucket over here. Buckets for a couple of things. Actually, it is for a couple of things. That ring, now, last minute decision. Two, when I do get this fuel pump pulled out of here, I'm going to have the bucket ready. Let's get the bucket ready now. So I can drop it in there. Because that cup, these tools, right there, why not? It's a good spot for the tools. Why not? That's annoying. The cup that the fuel that's on the fuel, oh, and I got like a full tank of gas in this thing too. That is just, of course I do. Of course I just put gas in it this morning. Full tank of 93 there. The cup is going to be full of fuel. So I'm going to put some plastic around this to try to avoid getting it on my carpet. Attempts like that. I don't have great finesse. Try to keep it off my carpet and drop it right into that bucket. Anyway, I'm kind of rambling. The YouTube thing's new to me. Really just trying to record myself doing anything is new to me. I'm just going to be cursing at my own voice later. Okay, so we're going to kind of put that down there. I'm going to get some more of this. Some insurance. Well, fuel will soak through this pretty fast, but at least if I do see myself spill, I can grab it and ball it up and throw it out of the car really quickly. Where it probably won't land on anything flammable or a flame. The fuel is flammable. Yeah, see? I should probably write a script. So I do have kind of that. I'll do another one and then we'll put some more plastic down as well. Yeah. Perfectly sketchy. Okay, I got this big ass plastic bag. I should have maybe cut a hole in it. That sort of thing. Maybe tip the the plastic into the hole, around the hole, that sort of thing. I don't know how much of a problem this thing's going to give me coming out of there. What I do know is that there's a shite ton of gas in there. Okay. That is a very gaseous smell. This thing kind of doesn't seem to want to come here. Oh. No. That is a tight fit, if there ever was one. Oh, see, there's the fuel. There's the, see, I'm glad I had my plastic. Glad I had my plastic. I'm gonna get this sitting here and ready to receive. It's kind of leaking fuel out into the tank. And into the bucket we go. And out of the car. Old fuel pump removed. A lot of gas. That is a full tank I decided to do this with. Okay. Here's the old seal. So I guess 3 things for that bucket. I do have a new seal. There we go. Okay. That is that. Except for that, unless you do something seriously wrong, shouldn't need the plastic anymore. So we'll off that. There we go. Didn't even really get any fuel on my hands too much. That's nice. I'm gonna go in here and just kind of wipe. Try not to wipe into your tank. Just let the towel absorb whatever you're wiping. It's pretty dusty, but it all seems to be in decent shape. Or nick. If you're overseas, they like nick. Yep. Didn't seem to get any on the carpet, which is a relief. It's a relief is what they call that. All right. So, now that we're there, that is much fuel. Just had an inclination to put my hand in there. I'm gonna ignore that intuition, or inclination rather, and get the new pump. Really starting to smell like fuel in my garage pretty strongly. All right, a little bit of PB Blaster. Now, granted, yes, I know this is not a lubricant, but when we're putting all of these little check valves back into the fuel pump and putting this ring kind of in its place, it just wouldn't hurt to have a little bit of lubrication. Not drop any of this down into that hole. Toss that aside. New ring. I am going to do a little bit of spray. Mist. All right. And I will Spread that around that, like so, and drop her nicely into place. Do not let it fall into the gas tank. That would be terrible. It would be terrible. This ring actually seems a little too small. It's too small. And there's not really a substantial rib to hold the damn thing into place. See? This is the Chinese aspect. They don't really understand tolerances. And when they say that, oh, it's got to be a 5-inch ring, they don't really consider a minimum diameter. They only just consider 5-inch ring. So they'll make a 5-inch ring, and they'll be told, maybe the tolerance is give or take a 64th, or it's give or take a 32nd, where it should be like, you know, -0. It could be over a 32nd, or it could be over a 64th, or it could be over an 8th, really. Really, in this case, it could probably be over a 16th, and you'd probably be okay, but because it seems to be under, say, a 32nd, it won't stay in the pocket, which is going to be troublesome, which could mean I'll be digging over in that bucket for the old seal, because I don't want this one to not seal my pump against my tank. That'll cause all sorts of problems and emissions difficulties. Not that I have those kind of tests here. Yeah, see, that's just not going to cut it. I'm not going to fuck around with that. Oh boy, how am I going to reach that? Oh, excuse the top of my head. I'm going to spread just some of that oil that I now have in my gloves right onto that guy. And put her back home. And in she goes. Yeah, that's the first taste of Chinesium. Well, second actually, I guess. The first taste of it was that this cup wasn't actually attached to the pump as it should have been. Hopefully they at least have the pump part figured out, or I'll be doing this again with a more expensive part from the Amazon. Now, Amazon did have this pump, but it was double the price. This pump cost me about $66 on Amazon. That's a very, very cheap sending unit. So, you know, if I was building a performance car, I probably wouldn't rely on a pump like this. But because I'm not building a performance car, I really don't care that much. So it looks like the orientation was about like that. No, but the guy from Aero part said to kind of put it in like that and do a rotate. We'll just kind of feel it out here. We'll just kind of feel it out and get that guy stuffed into there. Push that guy right into there. Oh, see, maybe I should have left the plastic there. It splashed a little out, of course. I'm probably the only idiot doing this with a full tank of gas. Oh, main body is in the tank. Now, that's plastic lines to contend with. Being sure you keep the seal in place. Don't screw yourself and push that seal out of the way with one of those plastic lines that are on the underside of this pump, because you'll be in a world of pain and suffering. Nobody wants pain and suffering. Okay, so it's kind of seems to be at home in there. It feels good. So we need a ring. This ring. Now, how well do you think this ring's going to fit? get the ring in, like, come on, get a, there we go. Don't go putting your lines in and then have to do the ring, because you're going to have to take your lines back out. Ask me how I know. Okay. So, now this is a big plastic ring. Not sure how far you have to spin before you realize you've cross-threaded it. Ooh, this is going very nicely. I don't think this thing has any sort of key. Doesn't really feel like it. I think that bottom there is just in where it should be. Gosh, I hope. Okay, now I'm going to do a little bit of this. This. Yeah, that doesn't work that well because you're not really applying much of a rotational force. You're just pushing this thing along. This is not a reliable way. If you're gonna do this, just buy the right tool. Don't be me. Do this the janky way. This is a sort of a budget build without actually being a race car of any sort. And that's ain't gonna go anywhere. Alright, red little plugs. 1, 2, the lines seem to be dropping right where they were. I'm gonna just spray a little bit of this shit here on the rubber oil rings so that they might slip in without too much trouble. Oh, rubber glove in the way. And she clipped in. Again, some sprayage on the rubber bits. And shove her home gently. Gently. Ooh, this one's tighter. Okay. And she's home. Probably. Off that Chinesium ring. Wipe hands. And then plug. Key it. I keyed it backwards, of course. All right. That is a fuel pump installed. Now, do you think it functions? Do you think it works? Let's give her a go, yeah? Let's give her a go. Let's have a try. Let's have a try. Oh. Okay, oh, knees, yeah. Okay. How do you think she's gonna do? Key, center of the ignition because Saab. Not sure I really heard that pump going. That's fuel. Okay, so that's that. We performed a fuel pump install. I'm not going to bore you with flipping the seats down and reinstalling my child seat, But it does run, again. Well, it ran before, but maybe now it runs with all of its fuel. Not sure. Also have a fuel filter to install, but quite frankly, it's late. It's almost 11:30 and it's past my bedtime. Also have the rain sensor to install. Saab. This is a new old stock part, Saab genuine, from the eBay, to fix the automatic windshield wipers. Wish me luck, I'll try it tomorrow, but good chance it also probably needs that fuel filter and maybe even a new fuel pressure regulator before I have restored full fuel pressure. And volume. Volume's, I think, really the big part of it. It can keep the pressure there, but it loses the volume because the car is requiring too much, maybe. We'll see. Thank you. Take it easy.